Hola Seekers, this is Kim and bienvenidos to another timeless reading in which we will be finding out what you can expect in the next 3 months. So like I mentioned, this is a timeless reading, so these messages will pertain to the next 3 months from whenever you are watching this video or listening to your chosen reading. Okay, but now I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how this reading is going to unfold. I will start off your reading with an intuitively channeled message as I do with all my readings, and then I'll move right into the cards. And I will be working with both tarot and oracle cards, and if I feel called to do so, I might use extra divination tools. And for the last segment of the reading, to wrap everything up, I will offer space for you to ask a yes or no question with the intention of receiving an answer from Spirit through the assistance of another divination tool, which is the pendulum. Now, just a heads up, I did decide to do things a bit differently for this general reading in that I chose to pre-shuffle and pre-pull the cards. Yet I am aware that a lot of people prefer to see the cards being shuffled on camera, so I did record that whole process. If you are interested in seeing me shuffle and pull out the cards for your specific group, the timestamp for that will be provided in the pinned comment in the comment section down below. Okay, but now it's time to pick a card. So as you can see, we have 4 different cards on the table, each one belonging to a different tarot deck. And these cards are the pre-pulled and pre-shuffled cards, so they will be representing the overall energy of your spread. Now, to help you choose, I will be giving you a closer look into the back of each one of these cards. So starting off, representing group 1, we have the card belonging to the Wildwood tarot deck. For group 2, we have the Broke B Word tarot training deck. Group 3 is the Dreaming Way tarot deck. And lastly, for group 4, we have the card belonging to the Heartspun tarot deck. Okay, so as always, take as much time as you need in order to choose your group. You can pause the video if you need more time. And once you have chosen, then you can head on over to the comment section down below where the timestamps are provided so that you can skip right on over to your reading. Okay, but now that you have picked your card, let's get right into your messages. Let's go! Hola seekers who chose the card belonging to the Wildwood Tarot deck, bienvenidos to your reading, in which you will receive information pertaining to the next 3 months. Now this is a timeless reading, meaning that at whatever moment in time you decide to watch this video, the messages can still apply to you. So the messages will be in regards to the next 3 months from whenever you are watching this video. Okay, so for this reading, I will be working with both tarot and oracle cards, and I might even use extra divination tools if I feel called to do so. And at the end of the reading, I will be giving space for you to ask a yes or no question, and hopefully you'll receive a direct answer through the assistance of a pendulum. Now I did pre-shuffle and pre-pull the cards. So as you can see, I already have your cards here. But I did record that process, so if you are interested in seeing me shuffle the cards or seeing the cards fall out, then the timestamp for that is provided in the comment section down below, in the pinned comment. Okay, but as always, I will begin your reading with an intuitively channeled message, and then I'll move right into the cards. So when connecting with the energy of this group, 2 messages came to mind, which were in a moment and here. A song also came through right after the message in a moment came to mind, and that song is Fly by Hilary Duff. So if you feel called to do so, I do recommend for you to listen to the song, or the very least just read through the lyrics, because there might be a message there for you guys. But now I'm going to move into the cards. I do just want to say, with all of the messages that came through, including the song, I feel like Spirit wants you to know that in a moment, and this is actually a line from the song that came through for you guys, in a moment, everything can change. And I think that for you guys, in the next 3 months, you will experience at least one major change in your life, and this is a positive change or shift. Or this is a change that will lead to a lot of positive things, okay? But now I am going to reveal the cards that fell out for you guys. I tried my best not to look at the cards when I was shuffling them, because I wanted to be part of this reveal moment, but it proved to be difficult since the cards were flying out and they were flipping over and staring me right in the face. So yeah, but okay, the cards that fell out for you guys, starting off with your chosen card, is the Knight of Stones, the horse, and this is the Knight of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And this card here will be representing the overall energy of this next 3 months. Okay, and then for your clarifiers, we have the number 12 with whatever floats your boat, and the key phrases fulfillment, enthusiasm, follow your bliss and money comes, passion project, and do you. And we also have Void. And last but not least, we have, I believe this is the Knight of Cups, but it can also be interpreted as the Page of Cups with number 22 and the book. So first of all, the number 12 and the number 22 are really grabbing my attention, because this could be a specific date. So depending on when you're watching this reading, if December happens to be coming up, in the next 3 months, then the date December 22 might be an important date for you guys. If this happens to be your birthday, then this could be serving as confirmation that you chose the right group or the right pile. But if you know of anyone whose birthday is December 22, then this could be signifying that this person will play a significant role in your life in the next 3 months. But this doesn't have to be signifying a birthday. This could simply be signifying an important date in general. Or it could be that the 12th or the 22nd of a specific month that is coming up in these next 3 months could be an important day for you guys. But whether or not this is an important date to keep in mind, I do still recommend to keep the numbers in mind, the number 12 and the number 22, because these could be of importance. So for example, repeated 12s or repeated 2s or repeated 22s could be the way that spirit, your guides, your higher self communicate with you, or could be the way that universe lets you know that something is incoming or that you are on the right track because I do feel like something is incoming for you guys, especially with this Knight of Stones. So Knights in general do tend to represent offers that are being extended to you, or something or someone that is coming towards you. Now there are 4 different Knights in the deck, and the Knight of Stone happens to be one of the slowest Knights in the deck because this one likes to take its time. The Knight of Stones represents someone who is responsible, practical, persistent, as well as very ambitious. The Knight of Stones doesn't mind being patient if it means that they will get the best results or possible outcome. So in other words, for the Knight of Stones, quality is better than quantity. Now the Knight of Stones does represent making your wishes come true, or working with the universe or your environment or what you have in your possession to achieve your goals or to make your dreams come true. So the Knight of Stones isn't passive, and they are not one to simply lay back and let things unfold. They work for what they want, and they have worked for what they have. Now, it's interesting how the Knight of Stones is being represented in this specific deck, because this horse looks pretty frantic. As you can see, not a single one of their hooves is grounded. They're all up in the air. And it's interesting because the Knight of Stones is associated with the element of earth, and earth is all about being grounded. So I do get a bit of this anxious and frantic energy when it comes to this Knight of Stones in specific. But what I'm mostly getting for this specific spread is that this horse has been surprised. You know that phrase, leaving your body? Like when you're so surprised or startled that you momentarily leave your body? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting with the Knight of Stones. Being a bit ungrounded, not being fully present, not being fully in your body because something unexpected has happened, something unlikely. And it's interesting because we do have the Jack of Hearts, which for this spread I will interpret as being the Page of Cups. Now the Page of Cups, I've recently learned, has this element of surprise to it. I got this interpretation from Carrie from the channel Kino Tarot, because if you're familiar with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, in the Page of Cups we have this page who is holding this cup in which a fish is peeking out of it. And this fish in the cup represents that element of surprise. But the Page of Cups is associated with the zodiac sign Pisces, and Pisces tends to be very romantic, artistic, daydreamy, intuitive, as well as childlike, which I feel correlates with the energy of the whatever floats your boat card. And actually, the number 12, I'm associating that with the 12th house, which is a house that I believe is ruled by or associated with the zodiac sign Pisces. So if Pisces season might be coming up in the next 3 months, then that could be an important time or season for you guys. But what I'm mostly getting is that sometime in the next 3 months, you can expect yourself to feel more in tune with your inner child. You can expect yourself to feel very optimistic, very hopeful. What I'm seeing with the message to you is that there is going to be a time in the next 3 months where you're not really going to preoccupy yourself with what other people think of you. You're not even going to be preoccupied with what your inner critic has to say about you. It's sort of like the inner child is coming through and they're not really concerned about what the adult you has to say about them. If the inner child wants to make a paper boat, the inner child will make a paper boat. If the inner child wants to dance or sing along to a song, then the inner child will dance and sing along to the song. Doesn't matter who's watching, doesn't matter who's present. If they want to dance, if they want to sing, they will do so. So this is an energy in which you are allowing yourself to dream big, and you're allowing yourself to simply be. you're fulfilling the needs of your inner child. You're fulfilling the needs of your heart's desires, especially when it comes to the so-called little things. So what I'm seeing is like, for example, if you're craving chocolate ice cream or you're craving dessert, you're not waiting after dinner to eat your dessert. You're gonna eat it before dinner. You're gonna eat it when you're craving it. Of course, the Page of Cups can sometimes come off as very childish, very naive, and sometimes even careless. But it's very interesting that we have the Knight of Stones to kind of balance out that energy or to ground that energy. Because even though you are fulfilling your inner child's desires, you're not acting carelessly. You're still aware and mindful of what is good, what is healthy for you, and what isn't. And so you're not overstepping boundaries or pushing the limits in any way. In other words, I don't see you being reckless. You're simply allowing yourself a moment of fun and to enjoy your own company and to enjoy the company of your inner child. To let your inner child come through every now and then. Because as much as we want to believe we're adults, we're still children. We're still children who are learning, who are growing, who are exploring the world. And so this is you exploring the world, especially your world and your inner world. Now, I do see this extending into a more general sense in which some of you might even feel inspired to take some form of leap of faith. So if there is, for example, a passion project that you have been thinking about starting or pursuing, but for whatever reason you've been holding back. Let's say maybe because this passion project is something that is out of character for you, because it's sort of like a hidden passion, a secret passion of yours. And you've been afraid to openly pursue this because what will others say? What will others think of me? Or you might be afraid that others will perceive it as something childish or something that is not in accordance to your age or where you are in life or what you do for a career or your profession, or is not in alignment with your character. Because the character that you present to others or you present to the world is one that is logical, is one that is practical, is more of this Knight of Stones than this Page of Cups. Sometime in the next 3 months, I see you throwing caution to the wind. Or maybe that's a little too exaggerated. I see you more like testing waters. Like you're giving yourself permission to try out the things that you want to try out. To delve into what truly fulfills you, what you're truly enthusiastic about, regardless of what others will say or what others will think. And there's even this kind of vibe of not sharing with others what it is that you're trying out or what you're doing or what this passion project is. Because we do have the Void card, and I get this feeling of doing something behind the scenes or doing something just for you. So for example, and this is just a hypothetical example, let's say that you're really into origami or you really like watching videos of people doing origami and you've always wanted to do origami yourself or take a class. Or maybe start your own YouTube channel or start posting videos online about your own origami art. And up until now, it has just been an idea, a fantasy. But in the next 3 months, I see you going for it or doing something that gives you permission to start pursuing this more openly. Some of you might always dreamed about writing a novel or a short story or poetry, and you might actually start committing to it in this next 3 months. Or maybe you already have a short story, a novel, or a collection of poems, and you've always fantasized about publishing your work. And maybe in these next 3 months, you will actually start looking into publishers or what you need to do in order to publish your work. But as I said, I do feel like there is an offer coming your way in the next 3 months. And I do get the feeling also with the Void card, because we do have this hand being extended, and it's a hand made of light. And so this feels like an opportunity that you didn't expect. It's almost like an opportunity or an offer that you were hoping for, or that you could only dream of, but you never really expected it to manifest or to come through for you. Because the void in the background, it's giving me this feeling of like pessimism, or this feeling of hopelessness. Like, it's hopeless, why even try? It's a sort of like a lost cause kind of situation. But with this hand being here, it's like this revelation that no, this is not a lost cause. No, this situation isn't hopeless. Yes, there is a solution to this. Yes, there is a silver lining. And that's why I feel this Knight of Stones is up in the air. Because something is incoming in the next 3 months that is really going to catch you off guard. And it's in a good way, in a positive way. Yes, you might be a little startled. What I'm getting with the horse is it's kind of like this starstruck feeling. Like, holy cow, it's real. It's here. I'm being reminded of that meme or that scene from The Office, like when Michael Scott goes into panic mode, yelling at everyone to stay calm because, oh my God, it's happening, it's here, it's happening. Yeah, so it goes back to that message that in a moment, everything can change, and it can change for the better. So this could be a situation in which, let's say you did write a book, or you did send a collection of poems to a publisher, and then in these next 3 months, they're reaching back to you telling you that, hey, they're wanting to work with you, that yes, they are willing and wanting to publish your work. And it's sort of this feeling like, I didn't expect this. You know, yes, I sent out my work, but I really didn't expect to get these good news. I really didn't expect for this to happen. It's sort of like that scenario where someone puts out a video of them singing just for fun, just because they wanted to, just to appease their inner child. And then boom, that video goes viral. They get recognized, their talents get acknowledged, talents that they possibly didn't even recognize they had in themselves. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, like something that you really weren't expecting is popping up in the next 3 months, and it's really going to catch you off guard. It's going to come as a surprise, and even though it might be scary in the moment, it is a good surprise. I do feel like this offer has the potential to turn things around for you and turn things around in your favor. Or what I'm getting with the Knight of Stones is like lead you down a new path or a different path, lead you in a different direction, a direction that you didn't really expect. And I'd like to read the message in this card over here. So it says, the book presages the discovery of a mystery affecting the person for the better. So, the word calling is coming to mind. So this could be something like you've been feeling this nudge, this call to do something or to explore something new, or you've been feeling a call to understand or find out what your life calling is, or get more clarity in regards to your life direction. And I feel like in the next 3 months, you are going to get information in regards to that. It's not like it's going to become 100% clear in the next 3 months, but it's like you are getting this understanding that you are moving towards that clarity. I get this feeling of something being slowly unveiled to you, which is kind of the energy of the Knight of Stones, of something being slowly created, of something slowly unfolding. And it's sort of like opportunities will be presenting themselves to you in the next 3 months that will lead you down a specific path. And these opportunities might not always be something major. They could be something like an offer to try out a new hobby, an offer to share your skills or your hidden talents, an offer to meet someone new or make new connections, an offer to learn something new. And it doesn't have to be by you taking a course or you going to school or going back to school. It could simply be like a video, an instructive video pops up on your YouTube feed, on your recommendations list. And there is an offer there, an opportunity to click on that video and to learn something new. And I feel like it's this sort of like domino effect where you step foot on this new path path or you start moving in this new direction and things start unfolding for you. It's like universe is open to show you more of where this path can lead you, or to show you what this path has to offer you. Yeah, I feel like things are happening in steps, like bits and pieces of the puzzle are being presented to you. Just to give you another hypothetical example, let's say that you are interested in tarot, and thus far you have been watching several general tarot readings on YouTube. And in the next 3 months you feel inspired to purchase your own tarot deck. And you start getting acquainted with your deck, and you maybe start doing readings for yourself. And then an opportunity presents itself where you can share this interest with someone who is genuinely interested in this. And they ask you for a personal reading. And that is an opportunity for you to practice more of this skill. And so you do a reading for this person, and then this person loves the reading and they recommend you to someone else, and they reach out to you, and so on and so on. And then next thing you know, you are doing personal readings. Next thing you know, you are presenting yourself as a tarot reader or as someone who does tarot readings on the side. And then this becomes, a passion, or this becomes your main source of income, or this becomes your business, or this leads you on a new path, on a new journey. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, especially with follow your bliss and money comes. It's like there is potential here to do something that you love and receive from it. Not only through emotional fulfillment, but also having financial stability, or this becoming your main source of income. Yeah, but I feel like this is a situation in which you don't necessarily go out looking for what you will find. You're not out there looking for your blessings. Your blessings find you. They come to you. And I also feel like you guys are putting in the work. There's this feeling of consistency. It could be an everyday situation, but it doesn't have to be like every day you're putting this amount of work, but you are being consistent in some form. And this can even apply in terms to like financial savings. Like every week you're putting $5 into your piggy bank, and it's with the goal of accumulating an amount of money that can help you pay for a travel expense, for you to go on a vacation, or for you to visit a place you always wanted to visit. Or this could be like a passion project. You're not fully delving into this 24/7 or solely committing to this, but you're putting some work into it, some time and energy, maybe even some money into it every now and then. So this could be like, for going back to the hypothetical example of writing a novel or a book. Every week you're writing a page or a paragraph or a sentence, or you're coming up with a scene. You're doing this on the side, and you're not putting so much pressure on yourself to meet a deadline. You're not putting so much pressure on yourself to meet a goal. You're simply doing this because it's something that you want to do. And it's more, like I said, it's more for you. But at the end, all this work that you put in little by little, it accumulates. It accumulates into something whole, So for example, at the end of it all these little excerpts turn into a story, or all these poems turn into a poetry book. So I do feel like this, for some, could be a work that you've been doing. It doesn't have to be something that you start in the next 3 months, but it's something that's already been ongoing. So something that maybe you started months ago, possibly even years ago, and you're seeing like how this is coming together in the next 3 months, or you're seeing how this can come together in the next 3 months. And with the Void card, I do feel like someone will be reaching out to you sometime in these next 3 months, and it's sort of like this person pops out of the blue. They like come out of the void. It's even strange because I can't really sense who it could be. How can I explain this? It's like I'm picking up on your energy, right? And you can't even fathom who could this be. Like it's not even, I can't even sense if it's someone that you already know or it's someone that you haven't interacted with. It's that kind of mystery feeling. And because I keep saying starstruck, maybe this could be a situation in which some of you are bumping into your favorite artist or someone that you admire or someone that you look up to. And it's like unexpected. You meet them in the most unexpected place. Maybe it's a situation in which you're not even all that put together. Maybe you're wearing your pajamas or you're in your sweatpants. And it's sort of like, no, really? Now? Yeah. Who knows? Because we do have the whatever floats your boat card. So I get this feeling like your guides are coming through to say, hey, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything that you were hoping for with a pure, sincere, good-natured heart, it can happen in the next 3 months. We can pull the rabbit out of the hat for you. For some, and this might not resonate with everyone or be a message for everyone, this could be like a secret admirer, or this could be someone who has the potential of becoming a romantic partner or romantic prospect. I don't know why I'm getting manifestation with the whatever floats your boat card. Maybe because we have the Page of Cups here. The Page of Cups can be quite psychic. It is Piscean energy. So if you have been attracting a counterpart or a romantic relationship, this could be coming in sometime in the next 3 months. And I feel like when this person comes in, or when this offer for romance comes in, it's truly going to catch you off guard. That's what I'm mostly sensing with the Knight of Stones. It's like, yes, you've been calling this in. Yes, possibly you've been waiting a really long time for this, because remember, the Knight of Stones likes to take its time. But it's kind of this scenario in which when it finally is right in front of you, it's like, it can be a little daunting. You know, sort of like fantasizing about meeting your favorite artist, and then finally when they're right in front of you, it's like, am I ready? What do I do? What do I say? Yeah, for some, I'm even getting this feeling of building something up so much that when it finally happens or manifests, it's a little underwhelming, and not because it doesn't meet your expectation. It's just that it's not as earth-shattering as maybe you've pictured it to be or made it out to be. It's like I'm getting this feeling of, like, just to give an example, of someone who's been putting a person on a pedestal, and then all of a sudden they realize that, oh, they're just a person, just like me. Yes, they're great, they're amazing, but at the end of the day, they're human. They're a person just like me. You know what? Because we do have this horse up in the air, not grounded, and there is this Piscean energy and some light being reaching out from the void. For those who have been trying to manifest or attract a soulmate, a partnership, be it platonic or romantic, or your counterpart, their higher self could be making contact with you sometime in the next 3 months. Though I do feel it is their 3D self that is consciously reaching out to you through some form of psychic means. So be it telepathy, astral travel, or this someone reaches out to you or sends you a message through a dream. It's like this person's 3D self is aware that psychic links or spiritual connections or soul connections exist, and they are actively and consciously psychically reaching out to you. Even if this person doesn't know you yet, maybe this is a situation in which they are actively trying to manifest or attract a soulmate or their soulmate, which happens to be you, and that's why they are psychically getting in touch with you or reaching out to you. So if you have been trying to manifest a soulmate or a counterpart, this could very well be the case in which this soulmate or counterpart that you are attracting is also manifesting you. It's like what you are seeking is also seeking you. Oh, for some, this could be, if you are already in a committed relationship, this could be that either you or your significant other proposes to move to the next level in your commitment. And for whatever reason, I know I was speaking about someone coming in with an offer, but I do feel like maybe it's you who will extend this offer, because there was that feeling of not caring about expectations or what other people may think of you doing you. So if moving to the next level of commitment is something that you have been wanting, you might feel inspired to propose that to your significant other. But of course, they could also come through with this offer. But definitely, just to recap, something that you thought wouldn't work out or something that maybe you felt hopeless about, you are seeing a silver lining in regards to that this month. I also see you connecting more with your inner child. I also see you working on projects or delving into hobbies that are more for you, but something that if you ever decide to, you can share it with others or share it with the world or share it with a community, and there is potential for you to make profit or money of a passion of yours if you want to. And I do see that's something that you've been slowly working on or putting in some form of work in, coming into completion or it accumulating or amounting to something bigger than you expected. I also see an offer coming in for you guys or someone coming into your life out of the blue. And like I said, I feel like clarity will start coming in, especially in terms to your life direction, or if you have been trying to attract or manifest something into your life and it's been taking a while, or all of a sudden you feel like things just went stagnant for you. I feel like things are going to start moving again for you in these next 3 months, and you are going to receive some clarity of why it has been taking the time that it has, or why it has been unfolding the way that it has been unfolding. Yeah, and the last message I'm getting with the Void card, if in the next 3 months you find yourself feeling low, or you're, how they say, in a pickle, I do feel like someone will extend their support to you or lend you a hand. If you feel called to do so, you can ask for the support and you will receive it, but I feel like someone will come through to offer you support, to offer you guidance, to offer you a lending hand. And this could even be a stranger. It doesn't have to be someone that you know. It's just someone that is offering you kindness or showing you kindness. So just a quick message and advice or reminder from Spirit. You don't need to rush, is the message that I'm getting. If you need to take your time with some things, please take your time. I feel like the more we rush things, the less we are able to enjoy it. So this is about allowing yourself to enjoy the process of things and also engage with something that is simply for your pleasure. It's not to meet a deadline, it's not to meet a goal, it's simply because you want to engage with it, simply because you want to do it, something that helps you relax. Yeah, okay, but those are all the messages I am seeing for you guys. So now I'm going to move to the last segment of this reading, in which I will give space for you to ask a yes or no question. So as you can see, we have 3 different stones to choose from. You are welcome to ask your question and then cast your gaze upon these stones and see which one calls out to you. The one that calls out to you will be the one that holds your answer. Or if you have more than one question, you can assign a question to each one of these stones. So I'll give you a moment to ask your question or questions. Now I will set an intention to receive an answer from Spirit through the pendulum, starting for those who chose stone number 1 over here. Okay? So Spirit, what is the answer for those who chose stone numero 1? So as you can see, the pendulum is pointing to yes. Your answer is a yes. Okay, so now for those of you who chose stone numero 2, what is your answer? Okay, so as you can see, the pendulum is pointing towards the word rephrase. So what this means is that you are being asked to rephrase your question because either it is too general or too vague that Spirit cannot give you a straightforward answer. You know, it's the kind of question that can't be answered with a simple yes or no. Either that or you're asking 2 questions in one. Okay, but now moving to those who chose the last stone, let's see what your answer is. So the pendulum was pointing towards no, so your answer is a no. Okay, but those are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity, that it has you looking forward to the next 3 months. If you enjoyed this reading and if you feel called to do so, then please leave a like or a comment. If you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. Also, if you happen to watch the advertisements, thank you so much for that. That is one of the most simplest way to support me and to support this channel, so I truly appreciate it. Yes, but that is all for now. Wishing you a wonderful next 3 months, and until the next moment, bye bye. Hola seekers who chose the card belonging to the Broke B Word Tarot Training Deck, bienvenidos to your reading that will unveil what you can expect in the next 3 months. Now, this is a timeless reading, meaning that these messages will pertain to the next 3 months from whenever you're watching this video. Now, for this reading, I will be working with both tarot and oracle cards, and just a quick heads up, I will be giving space at the end of the reading for you to ask a yes or no question with the intention of receiving a direct answer through the assistance of a pendulum. Okay? Oh, and by the way, I did pre-shuffle and pre-pull the cards. Here are the cards that fell out for you guys. But I did record the process of me shuffling and pulling out the cards. So if you are interested in watching that, the timestamp for it is provided in the comment section down below in the pinned comment. Okay? So now let's get right into your messages. And as always, I will begin your reading with an intuitively channeled message, and then I'll move right into the cards. So when connecting with the energy of this group, a few words did come to mind, which were gentle, soft, and nurture. And after these words came to mind, I did experience this sensation of being embraced. Now, it did not feel invasive. It did not feel awkward or uncomfortable. It felt almost motherly and very loving. For a moment, it did come to mind that I was experiencing the embrace of a spirit guide, but I will leave that open for you guys to interpret however you feel called to, however it resonates with you at this moment, because I do get the feeling that the next 3 months will focus on love and nurture, be it nurturing and loving the self or the relationships that you already have. Or this could be something like you feeling loved, supported, and nurtured by your spirit guides, your angels, ancestors, loved ones who are on the other side, or by source. Now, the word lull did come to mind. So the word lull does have that meaning of something soothing and quiet and calm. But it also has this meaning of a temporary period of stillness. So there could be a point or time in the next 3 months where not much is going on, or you feel called to be in stillness, be in silence, or maybe indulge yourself with or practice slow living. Yet overall, I feel like these next 3 months, there's going to be a lot of nurturing the self, and I'm even getting reparenting the self. Some of you might even be strengthening or mending a bond with a parental figure. I'm getting mother figure in specific, but it doesn't have to be specifically a mother figure. Yeah, so this could definitely be a time of healing, though it doesn't feel abrasive, it doesn't feel heavy. It feels like a lullaby, very gentle, very soothing, meant to calm, meant to inspire safety and peace and security. And I feel like this is what you will be providing yourself with or working to create in the next 3 months. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the cards, and I will say I did try my very best to not look at the cards when I was shuffling them, but it proved to be quite difficult since the cards kept flying out and flipping over. So I did eventually get to see some of them. Okay, but I will first like to reveal the card that you picked, and this card will be representing the overall energy of this spread or of the next 3 months. Okay, so for you guys, we have the Ace of Coins upright with financial opportunity, prosperity, and manifesting money. Okay, and your clarifiers, oh yes, you are the group that kept getting 2 cards from each deck. All the other groups just got 1, but you guys got 2. So we have number 10 with the phrase swinging on the front porch, and the key phrases good times, cozy feeling, slow down, be in nature, and thankfulness. And then we also have number 29 with come to Jesus, and the key phrases truthful communication, integrity, divine intervention, surrender, and reconciliation. Oh, okay. And then for these cards, I did get to see these cards. These cards flipped over. So we have the 5 of Pentacles, number 28 with the anchor. And we also have the 4 of Wands with number 4, the key. And for your last clarifier, we have good fortune. Okay, so right off the bat with the Ace of Coins, I'm seeing stability and security for the next 3 months. So if there has been a lack of stability and of security in your life, things are changing for you in the next 3 months. Now, I do notice we have repeated 4s here. And the number 4, I personally associate it with stability, sturdy, reliable foundations, as well as with divine protection. Whenever I see repeated 4s, I personally take that as a confirmation that angels are around, that I am being divinely protected and being divinely guided. Now, the number 4 also has this energy of healing to it. At least that's how I interpret it at times. So like I said, I do feel like there is this element of healing happening in the next 3 months, but it's very gentle, it's very soothing, it's, like I said, non-abrasive, you know, because the healing journey, sometimes it can be very heavy and it can be dark and it can be draining, but that's not the vibe I'm getting for this group. There is this sense of feeling light, not feeling pressured and not feeling forced or feeling the need to force anything. And it's interesting how I mentioned slow living, because in this card, swinging on the front porch, we do have the message slow down. And the overall vibe I get from this card is of slow living. And so I do see you guys spending a lot of time indulging in like leisurely pleasures, or it's just spending time to be with self, spending time doing things that inspire safety, things that inspire comfort. We do have this message of cozy feeling. So I do see you engaging in a lot of activities that are nurturing to you and to your soul. With this message being nature, some of you might be spending a lot of time in nature or a lot of time outside. If you have animal companions, I see you spending a lot of time with your animal companions, or finding healing in the company of animals, or in the presence of nature, or in the company of others. We do have this word thankfulness, and I do sense this feeling of gratitude, feeling grateful. And again, it's not about forcing yourself to be grateful about the things that you don't feel grateful about. It's simply acknowledging what you are grateful for. So there is this feeling of utter sincerity and honesty. Like if you're grateful that some plans got canceled because that means that you can stay at home and read a book or watch a movie, then it's acknowledging that and being okay with that. Like there's less judgment here is what I'm getting. And I'm noticing that the color blue is showing up in both of these cards, and I'm associating this color, at least for your spread, with the feeling of serenity. I know blue is associated with the throat chakra, and the throat chakra is all about communication, authenticity, truth. But what I'm sensing with the color blue, it's like being at peace with silence, or finding peace, finding calm in silence, finding healing in silence as well. Like there isn't this need to verbalize or to communicate everything that is going on. There isn't this need to have an opinion, because I feel like there's this pressure sometimes from society that we need to have an opinion about everything, or that we constantly need to be assertive. And from this energy, I don't get that. It's like being at peace with not knowing, being at peace with not having an opinion, being at peace with simply observing and listening and taking things into consideration, but not feeling this need to make a decision now, or to know now, or to have it all figured out right now. So it does give me this vibe of like, a vacation, when you literally truly decide to take a vacation, not just take a break from work or travel, but to take a vacation from the noise, to take a vacation from the overthinking, to take a vacation from the stress, from needing to show up in a certain way. Some of you might even choose to take a break from social media. Now, it's interesting how we were talking about communication, because we do have truthful communication in the Come to Jesus card. And I feel like this is in regards to that honesty that was mentioned previously. Like, if you have nothing to say, you're not making stuff up simply to say something, or for the pressure of needing to say something. If you have nothing to say, then you're being honest in regards to that and stating, you know what, at this moment, I don't have an opinion about that, or I don't want to comment. Or if you do have a strong opinion about something, if you do feel called to comment about something, it's not holding back. It's expressing what you truly feel, expressing what you truly think. And I did mention how some of you could be strengthening and or mending a relationship with a parental figure. And we do have the key term reconciliation. So some of you could be reconciling with a parental figure in the next 3 months, or working towards that reconciliation. And this could be a reconciliation with a parental figure, but it doesn't have to be. It could be with anyone that you had a fallout with, or it could be with anyone that you have been working to find that forgiveness for. For some, I'm even feeling like this could be with someone that is no longer here on this earth, someone that has passed away, and it's healing any wounds that were associated with that person or the relationship you had with that person. Again, I'm sensing this feeling of finding forgiveness, because we do have this key term, surrender. And so it's like surrendering the grief, surrendering the pain, surrendering the anger, the resentment. It's like letting go of those heavy, heavy emotions. And it's interesting because I feel like we tend to have this belief or mentality that we need to overcome these so-called negative emotions, that we need to annihilate them. But the more we try to fight an emotion, the more we try to overcome it, it feels like the stronger that emotion gets. And it's because the more attention we give to it, the more power, the more significance, the more meaning we give to it. It's like feeding into it. So it's not necessarily about overcoming the emotion or destroying it. It's not about not feeling it. It's more about choosing to let it go or simply surrendering it. I know it's a simple way to say it, and it's kind of sometimes difficult to understand, but how do I let go of it? And I actually have no clear answer to that, because what I'm getting from this energy, the feeling I'm getting is of an exhale. It's like I've been holding my breath for so long, and it's been tiring, it's been stressful, it's been hurting. And then I wake up one day and I exhale. And all that tension, all that pain dissipates. It's coming through sort of like an exhale, that release. And looking at this image in the Come to Jesus card, the word choice is coming to mind. It just keeps coming to mind. Choice, choice, choice. It's like this feeling of being done. Like, I'm done. I'm done with this energy. I want to experience something different. And it's like reaching out for that different feeling, reaching out for that different experience. This could be something like reaching out for support, reaching out for help. It's like not wanting to feed into the pain anymore, or feeding that numbing feeling. And this is not about giving up. It's more like giving into hope, or giving into the possibility of, the word recuperation is coming to mind, giving into the possibility of something better, something good, something healthy. I might not be interpreting it very well. I'm trying my best to describe the energy I'm feeling. And I know it might not be as simple as I'm describing it, because I know pain, hurt, trauma is very complex. So I was just trying to describe the feeling, the vibe that I was getting from these two cards. This surrendering. With the Come to Jesus card, some of you might be reconnecting or strengthening your connection to spirituality, or maybe to a religion or your religion. And I was going to say this reconciliation could be with your faith. I did mention in the intuitively channeled message that some of you could be, strengthening the bond with your spirit guides, angels, with source. So if there was a fallout with your faith, I do see you reconnecting with that sometime in the next 3 months, or working towards that reconnection or reconciliation. But what I was going to say is that this reconciliation doesn't have to be with someone else, with something external from you. This could be a reconciliation with self, reconciling with your past self, or reconciling with a version of yourself. It's like getting in touch with you again. Maybe this is even about finding forgiveness within self, forgiving yourself for something, or simply forgiving yourself. I don't know why, I just keep being pulled back to the word surrender, and I keep looking at the Ace of Coins, and I keep thinking of the Four of Coins, or the Four of Pentacles, which can often describe a very stubborn energy, someone holding on to something, someone not wanting to let go. If there was this stubbornness, the word capriciousness is coming to mind. Stubbornly holding on to an emotion that was hurting you, or maybe a belief or a mindset. And now in these next 3 months, you are letting go of that. So again, take it how it resonates, but this is what I'm sensing with the energy. It's sort of like someone was being so stubborn about not giving in to hope, or being so stubborn about not giving in to happiness. even though they really wanted that. It's sort of like not wanting to feel hopeful or giving into hope for fear of being disappointed. And so you resist that feeling. Or not allowing yourself to enjoy a moment because it isn't going to last forever. And so you do your very best not to feel that moment or connect with it or enjoy it. Again, take it how it resonates, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. And so in the surrendering, it's you allowing yourself to feel happy, allowing yourself to hope, allowing yourself to be supported or be helped or support yourself in any way that you can. And we were speaking about, stability and security with the Ace of Coins. So I do feel like in these next 3 months, you will find support. And I do see you feeling supported. Now, I do want to be clear that when I mentioned stability and security, I did see it in terms to financial stability and security, because we do have the Five of Pentacles here with the anchor. And of course, in the Ace of Coins, we do have the message of prosperity and manifesting money. So for those of you who have been manifesting financial opportunities or financial stability or have been manifesting money, you can expect to see results, positive results, really good results in the next 3 months. This could be speaking of a new job opportunity, a job offer, a promotion, a raise, a bonus. This could be speaking about financial aid, winning a scholarship, being sponsored, receiving a commission, an increase in profit or revenue if you own a business. In terms to finances, things are looking up for you or they're looking good for you. To further confirm this, we have the Five of Pentacles with the anchor. So the Five of Pentacles can speak about financial hardships, but it's temporary financial hardships. So if you have been experiencing some financial hardships, you can expect a positive turn of events for you, where you're finding that financial stability once again, or possibly for the first time. The anchor is a very grounding energy, so I see you guys feeling anchored. Some of you might even be finding a place that you want to settle down in. So this could be like a living situation, or this could be finding a job or a job position that really suits you, that meets your needs or meets your standards, somewhere that you want to invest your time and energy to, because as much as you're putting in, it's giving back to you in equal amount and possibly even more, because we do have the Four of Wands here. So the Four of Wands speaks about celebration, it speaks about success, about unions, reunions, happy families, community, prosperity. It also has this meaning of coming home. So like I said, some of you could be finding your forever home, or could be finding a place that you feel safe and secure in. Some of you could even be acquiring enough money to build your home, from the foundation up. Or this could be about you building your business, like starting a business, having enough money to invest in a business of your own, or finance a personal project or a creative endeavor. With the key and the good fortune, I get this feeling of hitting the jackpot. Maybe things weren't looking so good for you. Maybe you were losing hope. And then all of a sudden you hit the jackpot. So for those of you who are choosing to start or open up a business or start something new, maybe you're starting a new job, or you are becoming a full-time employee in the next 3 months, this is going to be successful. You're going to be successful in this. This is going to bring you a lot of prosperity, financial prosperity. This could even be a situation in which something that you created in the past is making a reappearance in the next 3 months, and it's proving now to be a success. Let's say if you have, and this is a hypothetical example, let's say you have a YouTube channel and a video that you posted a year or 2 years ago maybe at the time that you posted it, it didn't receive a lot of views, or there wasn't any engagement. It had maybe like 10 views. And then 2 years later, now in the next 3 months, or sometime in the next 3 months, that video is being viewed by thousands and thousands of people. And so many people are engaging with it. It's getting a lot of positive comments, a lot of likes, and you're profiting a lot from that one video that you posted 2 years ago. It's kind of that feeling, like something that maybe you did in the past, it's coming back and it's proving to have a lot of potential or to be quite fruitful. So I will say, and I do feel like this is a heads up, there is this possibility that if you choose to start something in the next 3 months, this might not reap you a lot of rewards from the get-go, but this could be the thing that could prove to be successful sometime in the future. And I feel like this will pop up or come up when you will need it the most. And so this is sort of like an investment, like planting a seed. You will not reap the rewards of it right away, but you can rest assured that you will reap the rewards of it sometime in the future. It's sort of like looking out for future you. So even though there might be hardships and difficult times, and of course I don't know your personal situation, I don't want to undermine or assume what it is that you guys have been going through, but it's sort of this feeling that yes, there are hardships, yes, there might be setbacks, yes, there might be very difficult times, yet you are never without, because you will always reach this point in which you will be blessed with prosperity. This key of opportunity and prosperity will always find its way to you or its way back to you. You will always stumble upon this 4-leaf clover, this good fortune. And it might come at a time when you least expect it. And like I said, I did feel like some of you could be taking a vacation. And if that seemed a little odd to you because you're at a point right now where maybe a vacation is not something that seems feasible or logical, expect things to work out for you. Like if you want a vacation, if you want to take a break, expect things to work out for you, because I do see that being a possibility for you. Because like I said, there's no worry here, there's no concern, there's this feeling of peace and relaxation. So I don't see you concerning yourself over money, or I don't see you concerning yourself about, oh, I've made so much progress and if I stop now, I'll ruin all my progress. I'm not getting any of that, and I feel it's because you're realizing that you're at a very good place at this point. Like, you slowing down isn't going to affect anything. You taking a break isn't going to ruin your progress, isn't going to ruin your financial situation, isn't going to negatively affect you in any way. On the contrary, it's going to positively affect you in terms of your well-being, in terms of your mental state, in terms of your mood, of your overall well-being. And I feel like it will also help improve your relationships, like I was saying, because the 4 Wands does speak about unions and reunions and community. So I do see you spending time with your loved ones. I do see you nurturing your relationship. And with the key being here, I'm connecting it with the Come to Jesus card. And I feel like there's going to be, like I said, a lot of honest, intimate, and vulnerable conversations in the next 3 months. It's very possible that this feeling of safety and stability helps you feel safe enough to be vulnerable, to open up about your feelings, about your emotions, or simply allow yourself to feel. And with the Good Fortune card, I just feel this overall feeling of feeling fortunate. It could be feeling fortunate about, having the finances, the resources, or the time to take a break, take a vacation, or feeling fortunate about spending time with your family, or having people around you who love you, or feeling fortunate because things turned around for you, or things started looking up for you, or you did find that stability or security, or feeling fortunate because you never giving up led to this stability and security, or feeling fortunate about the opportunities that are being presented to you. It could be for various things. And with the 4 Wands here in reconciliation, I definitely see reunions happening in the next 3 months. because we do have the number 4 repeated twice. The number 4 is reminding me of the 4th house, which is about home and family. This could be reuniting with family members, reconciling with family members. Some of you could be welcoming a new member into your family in the next 3 months. And I feel like this new family member will bring much happiness. They will bring much fortune to the family. Or this could be something like uniting with people who feel like family. Doesn't necessarily have to be blood relatives. It's just people who feel like family to you. People that you feel at home with. The Ace of Coins can also speak about new commitments. And with the 4 of Wands being here, maybe some of you are leveling up in your commitment with someone. Maybe some of you are choosing to settle down with someone or live with someone or possibly even start a family. Oh, now that I look at this key, this could be like the key to your new home. Like some of you might be moving or relocating, or like I said, buying your first home or renting your first home, finding your forever home, or finding where you want to lay down roots. This could even be something like you've always wanted a studio and you're finally finding a place where you can build your studio or have your studio or your office or your business. The word pop-up store just came to mind. So some of you could be opening your first pop-up store in the next 3 months. Yeah, but I do see things looking good for you guys. Things are slowing down, but not in a bad way. What I mean by slowing down, it's there's not a lot of challenges. There's not a lot of struggles. So if things felt very chaotic before, things are slowing down. They're leveling out. You're experiencing more of that peace. And not only in your external environment or world, I also feel it internally. Your outer world is reflecting your inner world and vice versa, which is very nice. I do want to point out the numbers that we have here because these could be important dates. So because this is a timeless reading, the dates might be a bit all over the place, so just take what resonates, because I am seeing April 28th here, or the month of April could be significant, or the 28th of a month. So if in the next 3 months from when you are watching this video, the month of April is coming up, then this date over here, this month, could be of relevance to you. But I'm also seeing October 29 here with these cards. So once again, if in the next 3 months the month of October is coming up, then this date might be of significance for you guys, or the 29th of any of those months that are coming up. And the Ace of Coins is giving me the vibe of 1 year from now. So it's very possible that if you decide to start something in the next 2 months, you will be accomplishing a great milestone in regards to that 1 year from when you begin it or fully invest into it. Yes, but those are all the messages I am seeing for you guys. I feel like those are all the messages. So now I'm going to move into the last segment of this reading. So feel free to think of any yes or no question that you have. And once you have your question ready, then you can cast your gaze upon these stones and see which one calls out to you, because the one that calls out to you will be the one that has the answer for you. And if you happen to have more than one yes or no question, then feel free to choose more than one stone or assign a question to each one of these stones. So I will give you a moment to do that. And now we will first start off with those who chose stone numero uno, or this stone over here. And we will ask Spirit to deliver the answer to you guys through the assistance of this pendulum. So as you can see, the pendulum is pointing towards the word rephrase. And what that means is that you are being advised to rephrase your question, because the question that you asked is either too vague or too general, so much so that Spirit cannot give you a direct answer. Or this could be something like, what you're asking right now does not require of your focus at this moment. Maybe there is a more important question to ask. especially if this is a question that you have been repeatedly asking. If you haven't received an answer yet, it might be because Spirit is trying to redirect your focus. Maybe there is something else that requires of your utmost attention at this moment. Okay, but take it how it resonates. Now, moving on to those who chose the stone in the middle. And I would like to point out that since I started your reading, or this group's reading, there's been sirens going off. Sirens might be an important sign for you guys, or how your angels or guides communicate with you. I've heard people associate sirens with Archangel Michael. So if you work with Archangel Michael, or you have been asking Archangel Michael for some clarity or for an answer, this could serve as confirmation that they are listening to you. They have heard you. Okay, but now moving on to those who chose the stone in the middle. What is the answer for you guys? Okay, so as you can see, the pendulum is pointing towards yes. So your answer is a yes. Now moving on to those who chose stone número 3. Spirit, can we get an answer, please, for those who chose the last stone? Okay, so as you can see, the pendulum is once again pointing towards the word rephrase. So basically the same thing as was mentioned for those who chose stone número 1. Okay, so these are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, then please leave a like or a comment if you feel called to do so. And if you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. The camera is glitching. Yes, but thank you so much for watching until the very end. And if you watched the advertisements, muchas gracias, since that is the most simplest way to support me and my channel. So if you did watch those ads, I truly appreciate it. But yes, that is all for now. Wishing you a wonderful next 3 months, and until next moment, bye bye. Hola Seekers who chose the card belonging to the Dreaming Way Tarot deck, bienvenidos to your reading where we are going to find out what is it that you can expect in the next 3 months. Now this is a timeless reading, meaning that these messages will pertain to the next 3 months from whenever you're watching this video or listening to this reading. So for this reading, I will be working with both tarot and oracle cards. Oh, and a quick heads up, at the end of this reading, I will be offering you space to ask a yes or no question with the intention of receiving a direct answer from Spirit through the assistance of a pendulum. So as always, I will begin your reading with an intuitively channeled message, and then I'll move right into the cards. And actually, before we get into your messages, I wanted to share with you guys that this is my second time doing this reading. The reason why I decided to redo your reading is because the first time, it was just a mess. I was struggling to put my thoughts together. I was all over the place, so the messages were all over the place, and it was very confusing, which is why I decided to have a second go at it. Give myself a second chance to do a better job and simply start all over again. Now, I did not reshuffle the decks or pull out new cards for you guys. The cards that you will see in your spread are the cards that were initially pulled out for you. So I trust that whatever messages you need to hear at this moment will come through for you guys. So I will treat this as a new reading. Okay, so now that I have shared that with you guys, let's now get into your messages. So when connecting with the energy of this group, the only message that came to mind very strongly was here and now. And this message is giving me this feeling of being present and working with what you got. And now that I think about it, there was a reason for me starting all over and redoing the reading. I feel like this was meant to serve as an example that if you need to start all over again, it's okay to do so. If you feel you need to redo something, it's okay for you to do so. And this is not about doing and redoing something until you have reached perfection, because then there'd always be something to perfect. And when will you ever be done? This is more about you reaching a point in which you feel content and satisfied with whatever it is that you're doing, with your work, with the end result. And I feel like this is also a reminder to pat yourself on the back every once in a while. Give yourself a break. You are doing an amazing job. You are doing the best that you can. And acknowledge when you are doing your best. Acknowledge when you are putting in the effort. Because even though we always want to be at our 100%, sometimes our 100% is not feasible. And acknowledging that, it's okay. So if you need to create pause, if you need to take a step back and come back to something later, know that that is perfectly fine. Sometimes pushing through is very helpful. Sometimes it is needed, but not all the time. So it's discerning when it's the right time to push through and when it's better to maybe take a step back, to come back later, or to start all over again, or to scratch an idea completely and try something different. All of those are choices that are available to you, and they are all valid options. So choose what best works for you at that given time. Okay? Yeah, I feel that's the message. So I'm going to end it here and now move on to the cards. Now I decided to do something different and pre-shuffled and pre-pulled the cards. So here are the cards that fell out for you guys. But if you are interested in seeing me shuffle and pull out the cards, I did record that process, and the timestamp for it is provided in the pinned comment in the comment section down below. Okay, but now to reveal your cards. So the first card, which is the card that you guys chose, will be representing the overall energy of this spread as well as of the next 3 months. Okay, and your card is the Ace of Swords. And to clarify this energy, we have number 17 with just fell off the turnip truck, and the key phrases naivety, obliviousness, inexperience, gullibility, study, and apprenticeship needed. I have trouble pronouncing this word, apprenticeship. I don't know why. Okay, but we also have the Three of Pentacles with number 48, the money safe, And last but not least, we have the Divine. Okay, so aces always speak of new beginnings. It is new energy. And since swords is associated with communication, thoughts, logic, the mental realm, the Ace of Swords could be representing a new idea, a new plan, a new way of thinking, a new mindset. And because we do have the Three of Pentacles here, which represents apprenticeship, studying, working together with others on a common goal, a common vision, some of you could be getting an idea for a new project in the next 3 months. But what I'm mostly seeing with this just fell off the turnip truck is that a lot of you could be starting a new project or a new venture or learning something new in the next 3 months. And it's interesting how we're speaking about the next 3 months, and then you guys got the Three of Pentacles, the number 3. So you could very well be building up to something in these next 3 months. You know, I'm getting this message of we learn as we go. Knowledge, wisdom, it gets built over time through experience, through practice. Now, one of the things I'm seeing here is an encouragement from, be it your higher self, from spirit, from the divine source, that if you are starting something new, or if you are learning something new, to not be so easily discouraged. Because being at the beginner stage is not always easy. Since we are learning something new, we are trying something new. So there is a higher probability of us making mistakes, of us not getting the hang of it right from the get-go. You are being reminded that it is okay, as we mentioned before, to make mistakes. Because sometimes mistakes allows us to go more in depth with something. And it teaches us more about ourselves. It provides us with valuable information. And it prepares us. It actually gives us the opportunity to prepare for any bumps in the road that might present themselves later on. Because that's what I'm getting with the Three of Pentacles. It's being prepared. And you know, there's always bumps in the road. As much as we want the path to be smooth, life is bumpy. And so I feel this is about having wisdom that can only be acquired through experience. So I definitely see you guys venturing into something new. And possibly for a lot of you, whatever it is that you will be involved in or involved with or invested in the next 3 months might actually be something that you have started a while back. And maybe the reason why the divine is coming through with the message of don't be discouraged is because by this point, you still feel you are at the beginner stage. Even though you might have started this a while back, there is still this feeling of being inexperienced with this, or not yet having a full hang of this, or not yet being fully skilled at whatever this is. And so if that happens to resonate with you, the advice here is to keep going. You know, mastery isn't acquired overnight. And it doesn't happen in a matter of days or a matter of weeks or even a matter of months. Mastery, most of the time, happens through a long period of time. And even the true masters will confess that they themselves are still learning. They themselves are still growing. You know, because there is always more to learn. And so with the Three of Swords being here, I do see a lot of you guys investing yourselves into something. I do see a lot of you guys working on bettering yourself or bettering a craft or bettering a skill. I do see a lot of you guys studying, preparing yourself, practicing. Some of you might be enrolling in a course in the next 3 months or going back to school in the next 3 months. The Three of Pentacles is also making me think of a community. So some of you could be forming part of a community or learning with others or learning through others. Because we do have the money safe here, I do get this feeling of financially investing in something. So some of you could be paying for a private course or private tutoring, and it's all with the intention of improving. And I just heard this message catching up, which, to be honest, I kind of frowned when that message came to mind. It didn't sit right with me. And it's only because it came through with this feeling of, not being enough or feeling behind, even though you're doing very well, even though you're doing your very best. And so I feel it goes back to that message that came through with the intuitively channeled message. Don't forget to give yourself a pat on the back. Don't forget to acknowledge your accomplishments, whether they be small in the eyes of others or even in your own eyes. A step forward is a step forward. So give yourself some props. Give yourself that encouragement. Be your own cheerleader. I know it might not always be easy to cheer yourself on, especially if we tend to be hard on ourselves. But if we don't do so, the pursuit of knowledge, the pursuit of betterment, it can become an emptying pursuit rather than a fulfilling one. I am noticing that this money safe is empty. No, because what I'm seeing with the Ace of Swords is like tunnel vision, narrow vision, just aiming for the finish line and that's it. So if we're not careful, this can become a tiresome race rather than an enjoyable journey. And I feel like one of the advice or messages here is enjoy the learning process. Because with the divine being here, I'm noticing that what is meant to be her hair is actually a waterfall. So I'm getting this feeling of going with the flow. When we enjoy something, it's easier to understand it. It's easier to learn it. So I actually see you learning something or doing something that you enjoy and going about this in a fulfilling way. So just be careful and just be mindful to not fall into these tendencies of needing to be perfect, of needing to have it all figured out, of needing to be the top of the class. Because remember, the Three of Pentacles, it's about community. We are all learning together. We are all growing together. We all have something to teach one another and learn from one another. No one is without. We all have something to offer each other. So there is no competition here. And the advice here is don't let there be competition. Competition begins when we start feeling like we are not enough or we need to prove ourselves. It's when we start fearing being in lack. And honestly, I'm not getting that vibe here. I'm not getting this competitive vibe. If that message came through, maybe it's just like a heads up, just a reminder. But honestly, I'm just getting like this pure intention to simply want to learn, to simply want to improve, to acquire more information, to acquire more clarity, to practice or put into practice something. With the divine here, this is making me think of spiritual, metaphysical, and or esoteric concepts. So some of you could actually be enrolling in a spiritual course or delving more into spirituality or feeling inspired to learn more about spirituality or spiritual concepts. Some of you might be wanting to learn about divination or practice the divination arts. But as I was saying, I got sidetracked, way sidetracked. As I was saying with the money safe, I do feel like some of you could be financially investing in something. And like I said, I am noticing that this money safe is empty. So I feel like there is this heads up from spirit that if there is an offer or an opportunity to enroll in a course or in a class or in some type of mentorship, one-on-one guidance, please remember to, before enrolling into this, investing into this, paying for it, get yourself informed. So in other words, don't give your money away so easily. Don't allow yourself to get swept away by pretty promises or how good something looks on paper. Ace of Swords can also speak about discernment. So always remember to use your discernment. Because I do get this feeling of going into something because you have a certain expectation about it. And it is that expectation that is kind of tempting you or exciting you to go for this, to pursue this or invest in this or participate in this. yet what you end up experiencing is far from your expectations. And it's not necessarily that it exceeds your expectations, it simply doesn't meet your expectations. So that is why there is this constant message of informing yourself, getting well informed about what it is that you are investing money in. Because there is this feeling that if money is involved, there are no refunds, exchanges, and or cancellations. So be mindful of your money in these next 3 months. Because we do have the key term gullibility here. And honestly, with the divine being here, I feel like this could pertain to spirituality, to metaphysics, or the esoteric. Like, for example, an offer or an opportunity to participate in a spiritual retreat, or to be taught by a spiritual guru, or get private tarot lessons. And this is not to discourage you from pursuing this or investing in this, but it's simply about reminding you to be mindful and to use your discernment. Because honestly, the vibe I'm getting with the 3 of Pentacles and the money safe is that something that you are interested in or contemplating about investing in or paying for is quite expensive. And I know what is expensive will be different for everyone, but I feel like it is expensive for your current financial situation at that time that this opportunity or offer comes about. So I feel like with the divine being here, you are being let known that you don't need to necessarily spend so much money or, empty your piggy bank or go over your budget to acquire this type of information or knowledge, or possibly have this type of experience. Like, you could get something very similar at a more reasonable price, or possibly even for free. And I am getting this vibe of patience. So just as a hypothetical example, let's say you're very interested in learning how to read tarot. And maybe you have this mentality that in order to learn how to read tarot, you need to learn from a tarot reader. You need to learn from an expert or a professional. Or you need to take a specific expensive class for it. And Spirit is saying, no, you don't have to pay so much money in order for someone to teach you. You don't have to pay for this very expensive class in order to learn how to read tarot. I mean, you could if that's what you want, but you don't have to. Because it's possible that whatever knowledge you will acquire through these options, you could acquire through a video on YouTube, or through an article online, or through, you practicing on your own, through your own intuition. Because what I'm also seeing with the Ace of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles is self-learning. If that is something you've been considering, but for whatever reason you feel shame about or guilt about, Spirit is saying there is nothing wrong with self-learning. There is nothing wrong with learning through practice, with learning through trial and error. Remember that message? Work with what you got? I feel it's even more relevant now. We spoke about how the Ace of Swords can represent a new mindset, new mentality, new belief. And so what I'm seeing here is that possibly some of you guys have been holding back on fully pursuing something or starting something or investing yourself in something, because there is this belief that in order to begin this journey or pursue this, you need certain tools or you need to be at a certain place. So going back to that tarot reading example, let's say you really want to learn how to read tarot, but you don't have a tarot deck. And you're holding back from purchasing a tarot deck because there's this belief that your first tarot deck has to be gifted to you. That's the only way that whole tarot reading experience can be valid, if someone gives you your first tarot deck. And the cards here are saying, no, that is just a limited belief. That is not a truth or a universal truth. It's only true if you believe it to be true. but you can change your belief about this. Or maybe there's this belief that in order to read tarot, you need to have an actual mass-produced deck. And the cards are saying, no. You can make your own deck. It doesn't have to be a mass-produced deck. You can DIY your own tarot deck. And there's a lot of information out there online for free about tarot that can assist you with creating your own tarot deck. So there is this message here of not limiting yourself and not holding yourself back with self-limited belief or possibly even excuses. Because to me, it feels like you already have all the tools that you need in order to begin whatever it is that you want to begin. You don't have to empty your money safe in order to start something new. Just to give you another hypothetical example, let's say you really want to start your own YouTube channel, but you're holding yourself back because you think that in order to start a YouTube channel, you need to have a very expensive camera or a very expensive microphone or very expensive lighting. But the truth is that you can start recording videos through your phone. You don't need all these expensive tools or materials in order to start your YouTube channel or in order to start creating videos or posting videos. You can start small is the message here. It's okay to take baby steps. It's okay to take it one step at a time. In this spread, through these cards, there's none of that go big or go home. I might not be a huge inspiration, but when I started my YouTube channel, until this day, I still record through my phone. And when I started, I didn't have a tripod. So what I did is I would stack books on top of each other until I got the perfect height. And then I will prop my phone against whatever I had at that moment so I could get the perfect angle. And for lighting, I would use natural lighting or whatever lamp I had at my disposal. So don't ever feel like you're lacking, because if you allow yourself to be creative and ingenuitive, you'll always find a way. There will always be a way to accomplish that which you want. So don't stop yourself from pursuing your dreams or from pursuing something that you want to try out. And surely, as you start growing, and if this is like a business venture or something that will profit you financially, then as the money starts coming in, you can definitely upgrade if you want to, if that's what you want, if that's what you feel is good for your business or whatever it is that you're doing. The message I'm getting here is like work or study smart, not hard. Yeah. And with the Three of Pentacles here, since it is about working with others, if others can provide you that support and this money safe is actually open, then be open to receive that support, because that support can actually be of much help and benefit to you. It can go a long way. A little help can go a long way is the message I'm getting. Now, I know we have this message apprenticeship needed, and I've been talking about self-learning, being self-taught. But, if you are someone who does better learning with others or by being guided, then definitely invest in what works best for you. So this is doing what works best for you and not feeling pressured to do something a certain way. I just gave all of those examples primarily because I felt called to do so and to offer a new perspective in case someone needed it. Now, I don't know why I keep thinking about spirituality, metaphysics. Maybe it's because we have the divine here, but I do feel like there is this advice to not follow something or not follow someone blindly. And this is in a general sense, but I do feel like this is speaking specifically about the spiritual community. So there is this advice here to be mindful about what information or messages you are paying attention to. Again, the message of discernment is coming through. Everyone has different opinions, everyone has their own perspective, everyone has their own beliefs. And so if you think about it, and again, I'm offering this perspective, no one person holds the universal truth. Everyone's truth is going to be different. And so this is a reminder to not abandon your own values, your own beliefs, and your own intuition in order to follow the ideals and or beliefs of someone else. Because status, titles, years of experience is not an indicator or a telltale sign that someone has all the answers or is always right, or what they say or do is true or is the truth. So we can admire someone even though we might not agree with everything that they stand for, everything that they do, or everything that they say. Because remember, we are multidimensional beings. There's different aspects to us. So it could be that you admire some aspects of this person, even though you don't agree with other aspects of them. And that's okay. So there is this message of not changing yourself in order to fit someone else's ideals or in order to, resonate with someone else that you look up to or someone else that you admire. Stay true to you is the message here. And that's why discernment is so important. Because through discernment, we can recognize what is in alignment with us and what isn't. What is meant for us and what isn't. So there is this overall message here to not give your power away by following something blindly or following someone blindly. Or by believing that someone else holds your truth, or that clarity can only be obtained through something else or through someone else. Because remember, you are also divine. You are also connected to source. You also have the power to connect with your higher self. You have discernment. You are also a logical being and an intuitive being. So if you have been seeking for clarity, or if you have been seeking for truth, but you have been seeking for it outside of you, just to give an example, if you have been wanting to gain clarity about a situation and you feel that the only way to do so is through tarot readings or by reaching out to a tarot reader or a psychic, the cards here are advising to, rather than going to a psychic or a tarot reader or going to the cards to get clarity or more information, why not go within to find that clarity? Because I feel like you guys, and as cheesy and as frustrating as this may sound, you guys already have the answer. And I feel like this message is especially true for those of you who might have been consuming a lot of external information. So for example, if you have recently been purchasing a lot of personal tarot readings, or if you have been consuming a lot of general readings on YouTube, and all this information that you have been consuming, instead of giving you more clarity, they have been causing more confusion or internal conflict, then there is an advice to maybe give yourself a break from all of these general readings, reaching out to psychics or tarot readers. Give yourself a break from your own tarot cards. Because too much information isn't always helpful. Instead, it can be overwhelming, and sometimes all that it does is create even more confusion. And so I get this feeling of, with this waterfall here and with this empty money safe, it's like emptying yourself of all that extra and possibly unnecessary information to get to the core of the matter. Because even though, for example, all these tarot readings offered a lot of clarity, even though they were helpful, maybe they kind of overshadowed what was truly of importance. Maybe the unnecessary details caused you to look away from what truly required of your attention or focus. Because I do feel like the divine source has been trying to communicate something to you, has been trying to deliver the truth to you or bring you that clarity. But I feel like all this external noise has been distracting you from this message, from the truth. And it has happened to me where I go on this tarot reading spree on YouTube where I binge a lot of general tarot readings. And even though those readings are helpful, they do provide a lot of clarity and guidance. Instead of feeling even more connected with my intuition, I feel disconnected. And so there is this feeling of becoming dependent on something external from you. So this could be like becoming dependent on tarot readings, or becoming dependent on a psychic to provide you with the clarity, or to provide you with the next steps, or to provide you with the guidance, or becoming dependent on spirit to tell you what to do. And this dependency, it's disempowering because it's creating this belief that you cannot provide that clarity for yourself, or that you cannot be your own guiding compass, when the reality is that you can. All that is required is for you to practice your own discernment. All that is required is for you to give yourself the opportunity to guide yourself. Even if there's perceived mistakes along the way, it's allowing yourself to learn from those mistakes and improve. Improve your connection with your intuition, improve your discernment, improve your decision-making skills. Now, I was going on and on about some of you possibly learning something new, being the students, but this could very well be you choosing to be the mentor, the guide, the teacher. So some of you might feel called to share your wisdom or your knowledge with others in the next 3 months. Some of you might even be starting your own classes or courses, or offering services to the community or to the collective. Because what I'm seeing here is taking a moment to figure out how it is that you can help others with what you know, or how it is that you can offer your knowledge, your wisdom to others in a way that is fulfilling to you, and in a way that's not only profiting and benefiting others, but it's also profiting and benefiting you. And also figuring out what that profit and benefit is for you in specific. And for those of you who are already teachers, guides, mentors, or offer courses or classes of some sort, you could be getting new students in the next 3 months. I don't know, this message just came to mind. Some of you could be offered a scholarship. So if you have been applying for scholarships, you could be receiving good news in regards to that sometime in the next 3 months. But I would like to say that something small can build up to something grand. So if you choose to start something in the next 3 months and it's like a humble beginning, please don't be discouraged by this humble beginning, because this can grow and grow and grow into something prosperous. Of course, if you continue to nurture it and believe in it and invest in it, not only financially, but invest in it energy-wise, time-wise. Yeah. Also, in the next 3 months, there is this heads up to be mindful of your communication. I don't know why, but online, the web, social media is coming to mind a lot. So if you tend to post on Twitter a lot, or on Instagram, or you have a social media platform, just double check your post or anything that you intend to post. Check for grammatical errors, or just double check that you are communicating what you intended to communicate. Yeah, because I do get this feeling that there is possibility for miscommunication in the next 3 months, but that could all be avoided with just being aware or mindful. And remember, it's okay to not know everything. So if you need more clarity about something, don't hesitate to ask. It's okay to ask for more clarity, because the Ace of Swords can also speak about honesty and authenticity. We don't know everything. Pretending like we do isn't going to help anyone. If anyone ever claims to know everything, that's probably the ego talking. I feel like the greatest masters are the ones who are open to learn from their students, because there's always something new to learn, and every person offers a different perspective. So be open. You never know what you might learn. In terms to time frames, I'm sensing winter season could be of significance. So if winter season is coming up in the next 3 months from whenever you're watching this video, yeah, look, and we have ice here, ice melting. That season could be of significance for you guys, or it could serve as a confirmation that you chose the right pile. But I'm also seeing 1 year and 3 months. Now, I know that's exceeding the 3-month time frame that this reading is based upon, but this could be something like whatever you choose to start in the next 3 months, you could see a breakthrough in regards to it 1 year and 3 months from now, or you could see a significant amount of improvement in regards to it. So I know this reading is about the next 3 months, but with the Three of Pentacles, I feel like in 3 months' time, you can expect for something to happen. I feel like this could be in terms to your finances. So if your financial situation isn't looking that great right now, maybe in 3 months' time or 3 months from now, your financial situation will be much, much better. Yeah, this money save here will have some cash in it. But these are all the messages I am seeing with these cards. So now I am going to move into the last segment of this reading. So in this segment, I offer space for you to ask a yes or no question with the intention of receiving a direct answer from Spirit through the assistance of the pendulum that you see here. So if you have a question in mind, cast your gaze upon these 3 stones that you see here and see which one calls out to you, because the one that calls out to you will be the one that has a message for you or an answer for you. And if you have more than one question, feel free to choose more than one stone or assign a different question to each one of these stones. Okay, so I will give you a moment to do that. And I will start off with those who chose stone numero 1, the one that looks like a potato. So let's see. What is the answer for those who chose stone numero 1, please? Okay, so as you can see, the pendulum is pointing towards no, so your answer is a no. Okay, but now moving on to those who chose the stone in the middle. What is the answer meant for those who chose the stone in the middle, Spirit, please? Oh, okay, so as you can see, the pendulum is pointing towards maybe, so your answer is a maybe. And now for those who chose the last stone, stone numero 3, what is the answer meant for them, Spirit, please? Okay, so as you can see, the pendulum is really pointing towards the word unknown. And what this signifies is that whatever you are inquiring about, there is yet no definite answer or outcome in regards to it. So it could be that things are still up in the air in regards to this, or that the outcome is susceptible to change. So those are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, and if you feel called to do so, then please leave a like or a comment. If you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, and thanks to all of you who took a moment to watch the advertisements, since that is one of the simplest way to support me and to support this channel. But that is all for now, and I'm wishing you a wonderful next 3 months, and until the next moment, bye bye. Hola seekers who chose the card belonging to the Heartspun tarot deck. Bienvenidos to your reading, where we are going to find out or get information in regards to what you can expect in the next 3 months. Now, this is a timeless reading, meaning that these messages will pertain to the next 3 months from whenever you are watching this video. So if in a couple of months you decide to come back to this video and pick another group, know that the messages will still be relevant, especially if they resonate with you. Okay? So for this reading, I will be working with both tarot and oracle cards, and just a heads up, at the end of the reading, I will be giving space for you to ask a yes or no question with the intention of receiving a direct answer from Spirit through the assistance of a pendulum. Okay, but with that being said, as always, I will start off your reading with an intuitively channeled message, and then I'll move right into the cards. So when connecting with the energy of this group, the first thing I noticed is that I felt this need or this urge to write. So if you are a writer or you have thought of becoming a writer or of starting a written project, I do see you writing or working on this written project in the next 3 months. But whether you are a writer or not, or you intend to become a writer or not, I do see you guys writing an important document, a letter, a report, or a note. Now, this could be physically writing. That's the vibe that I'm getting. But this could be something like typing out a report or an important email or a text. Now, I do get this feeling that a lot of you are going to be taking writing seriously. So for example, if you used to journal in the past, in the next 3 months, you are going to become more serious about your journaling. This could be you being more consistent or using journaling as a way to heal or to introspect or to purge. And actually, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting for you guys, because I will say, when connecting with the energy of this group, there was a moment in which I had trouble breathing because the energy felt heavy to me. And I especially felt the heaviness in my chest. It was only after I began writing, physically writing out all the messages that were coming through for you guys, that the energy began to feel lighter, less heavier, and I was better able to breathe. So it's very possible that a lot of you guys will feel inspired to use writing as a form of venting or as a form of releasing any suppressed feelings and or emotions that you have, as a way of healing and purging. For some, this could be very meditative, like writing letters that you don't intend to send or doing automatic writing. Now, there is something about physically writing that I feel makes a huge difference for this group. Maybe it's the act of writing that helps you better vent or helps you release, because it's a physical motion. Some of you, it might not even be writing. It could be simply like scribbling or doodling, just letting the energy flow through your hand onto paper and be released in that way. It's very possible that you guys could also be channeling messages through your writing or gaining some form of perspective. So if you do choose to write without overthinking and then go back and read whatever it is that you have written, you might find a message there coming either from your higher self, even from your subconscious mind, that could really help you make sense of things or can really help you digest. I don't know why that's the word that's coming through, but like digest something that you are going through, or digest a certain emotion, or digest something of your past. Because one of the other messages that came to mind, actually it wasn't a message, it was more like an image that I saw in my mind's eye, and it was of someone looking down. And it looked like this person was looking down into a barrel, an empty barrel. So the two messages that I thought of when I saw this image was way down, as well as at the bottom of the barrel. And I feel called to say that this message might not be for everyone. I feel like it will be for a select few. Sometime in the next 3 months, you will be called to either by a personal desire to understand or to heal, or by your current circumstances at that moment to really dig deep. Look deep into yourself, or go into depth with something that you have been dealing with, or with a fear, or with an insecurity. It does kind of give me this vibe of like shadow work, but I personally feel like this is pertaining to really going into the depths of something that emotionally triggers you. Now, like I said, this message might not be for everyone because this does feel like heavy energy or heavy work. And for a lot of you, I feel like this is something that you are going to work with the assistance of someone else. So for example, with the assistance of a therapist or a counselor or a healer of sorts. Or it could also be with a loved one that you feel safe with, that you trust, and you feel supported by. So I definitely see you guys working through something and delving deep into it in order to find the core issue or the core wound. Now, there is a second interpretation that I feel called to give to these two messages way down and at the bottom of the barrel. For those of you who have been looking down on a project that you have worked on or completed, or possibly even an idea that in the past you considered investing in, this project, idea, or possibly even investment will surprise you sometime in the next 3 months. It's like whatever you saw as the underdog will prove to be the hero or the top dog in the next 3 months. Because the last message that came through for this group was riding high. So I definitely feel like something that didn't show much potential. No, actually, it's not that it didn't show much potential, it's that people or someone perceived this as not having potential and thus didn't give it an opportunity or didn't give it the recognition that it deserved, will show to have a lot of potential and even success in the next 3 months. Oh, one last thing. When sitting down to connect with this group's energy, there was noise. Dogs started barking, people started yelling. So there could be some distractions or interference happening sometime in the next 3 months. And I want to be clear that it's not for the entirety of the next 3 months, but it's sometime in the next 3 months. And there was a moment in which I felt a specific energy coming through that felt pretty invasive. So there could be someone in specific who will want to get all up on your business. Is that the correct expression? Or does that mean something else? It's like this person is gonna want to, or is going to try to get involved in your personal matters. They might want to know what you're up to or what you're doing or what you're planning. And I get this feeling of being attached to the hip. So someone might be really getting into your personal space. This energy did feel feminine to me, but I know that feminine and masculine doesn't necessarily signify any specific gender or sex. But just in case it's of importance or it resonates with someone, the energy did feel feminine and very intrusive or obtrusive. Yeah, so just a heads up about that. If you don't want to share your personal life with anyone, you don't have to. Remember that you can set your boundaries. And if someone is crossing your boundaries, you can respectfully let that person know. Okay? But now I'm going to move into the cards, and I did decide to do things differently for this reading. I pre-shuffled and pre-pulled the cards. So these are the cards that fell out for you guys. But don't worry, I did record this process, so if you're interested in seeing me shuffle and pull out the cards, the timestamp for that is provided in the comment section down below, okay? But now it's time to reveal the card that you guys picked. And this card here will represent the overall energy of this spread, as well as the overall or main energy of the next 3 months. So we have the Three of Wands in reverse. And to clarify this energy, we have number 32 with too big for your britches. And the key phrases: arrogance, vanity, self-importance, being high and mighty, and modesty needed. And we also have the Eight of Pentacles, number 44, with the broken glass in reverse. And lastly, these two cards fell out together. If I recall correctly, these are the cards that actually flew out and fell on the floor, and I had to get up and go get them. Oh yeah, and before these cards fell out, several cards, I believe it was like 4 cards, had fallen out for you guys, but it was too many cards, so I put them back in the deck and shuffled again, and then these cards just flew out. Okay, so we have Father and we have the Sun. Okay. And I actually feel called to pull out some key terms for you guys. So I'm going to do it. You and the third group are the only groups that have gotten key terms. What did I say? Did I say key cards? I meant key terms. One more. Okay. So we have foundation. We have patience, success, and it's interesting how it fell right on top of the Sun card, because the Sun in tarot actually represents success. Okay, and we also have validate. Okay, so right off the bat, the Three of Wands in reverse can represent returning home or returning from travels. Now, with the Father card being here, some of you could be returning home to your childhood home, or you could be returning home to pay your parents a visit or to pay your family a visit. Because the key term foundation is making me think of where you came from, your roots. Now, I'm getting a very specific story from this spread, and honestly, I'm not sure whether it will resonate with everyone who chose this group, but everyone's story matters, so I'm not going to hold back in sharing what is coming through. Again, take it how it resonates, and remember, this is a general reading, so I might just get the gist of what is going on here, but I am seeing this strain on a relationship between a child, or by this point an adult, with a parental figure. We do have the Father card here, so this could be a paternal figure, but doesn't have to be. And the strain exists, it could be for various reasons, but one of the reasons that I'm seeing here is this paternal or parental figure had a very specific vision for their child. They knew who they wanted their child to be, they knew what they wanted their child to do, and who their child truly was might not have met this parental figures or father figures' expectations. And so with the too big for your breeches, this parental figure could have been very hard on their child. And I do want to give a heads up that the following messages could be triggering. I am seeing that this father, paternal figure, or caregiver could have often made it clear that they didn't hold much expectations for their child. I'm even getting this scenario where this father figure per se, they expected their child to pursue a specific career. Yet their child ended up pursuing a different career, a career that this father figure looked down on. And because this was a career path that this father figure did not agree with, they did not expect their child to succeed. Or they did not expect or believe that this career path will bring much success or prosperity to their child. Because the vibe I'm getting from this father card is very similar to the Hierophant in traditional tarot. Someone who is very traditional, someone who is very practical, someone who abides by the rules and likes to be the one in power or be the one making the rules. And whoever is opposing the father figure, I feel is being described by the Sun card. This is someone who is innovative, ingenuitive, someone who is creative, someone who likes to think outside of the box and not necessarily abide to the rules or societal norms. This is a free soul, a free spirit, someone who is more connected with their inner child and emanates or exudes this childlike wonder or wonderment for the world. Whereas this father energy feels more reserved, more closed off. So overall, I am seeing this lack of support from a father or parental figure. And so the story I'm seeing here is someone is returning back home, reuniting with this father parental figure or caregiver to show them that they have succeeded in life, or to share with them how much they have accomplished in life. I'm being reminded of that scene in Disney's Mulan, where Mulan comes back home with all of these tokens that represent her courage, her bravery, her leadership, her tenacity, her ingenuity, and the respect that she has garnered from the highest of authorities, the emperor, and all of China. So it's this feeling of coming back home victorious, coming back home with proof that you made it happen for you. Now, with this person, or this image here, it sort of looks like these breeches or these jeans no longer fit this person, like they have outgrown them. Some of you could be coming back home to realize how much you have grown, or how much you have outgrown something. Now, I do get this vibe of inner child wounds or parental wounds going on here. There's even this kind of money wound, is that what you would call it? Like possibly lack mentality, or this belief of not being enough, feeling like you're not enough. And some of you could be returning to your childhood home or your hometown, or returning to a place or an environment that was the beginning of those wounds, or that enabled those wounds or aggravated those wounds. And you're coming back to this place to realize that what once hurt you doesn't hurt you anymore. Now, for some, I do feel like returning back to this place or back to this environment or back to this situation, or reconnecting with this father over here, whoever this may be, it doesn't necessarily have to be a parental figure. This could simply be someone that you looked up to, so much so that their opinions about you really mattered and possibly even shaped you at some point. And so if this person had a negative opinion about you that really hurt, and possibly maybe even caused you to look at yourself in a negative light. So there could have even been, or there could even be still now, this constant worry about how people see us, or this constant preoccupation with needing to present ourselves in a certain way to the world. And that doesn't allow for one to show up authentically, or one to show up without the fear of being judged or of being misperceived. And I lost my train of thought, because I feel like with the Sun card showing up upright, and with success having fallen right on top of it, it's like all these beliefs, all this pain, all these wounds that were keeping you from moving on to better fitted jeans, that were keeping you from expressing who you truly are, that were keeping you from realizing your truest potential, even if that didn't meet other people's expectations. All of that is being left behind. Because that's the feeling I'm getting with the Three of Wands. Is something is being left behind, or something is being asked to be left behind. And I feel it's these beliefs, these self-limited beliefs, or these beliefs that were projected onto you. Because with the sun, the rays being here, it's reminding me of a projector, something being projected. And it's sort of like, the sun also represents masculine energy. And this father figure is very much in its masculine energy. So much so that I don't see this father figure being in touch with its feminine energy at all. It almost feels like an imbalanced masculine energy, overly masculine. And if the sun is really close, shining super bright, it can burn everything in its path. And sunflowers, they look up to the sun. Wherever there is sunlight, that is where the sunflowers turn to. And so if the sun is angry and blazing hot, they can really hurt these sunflowers that are just, being themselves. So a lot that this father energy here was projecting onto you might not had anything to do with you. It could have been something to do more with them than with you. They were simply projecting onto you what was going on within. And I don't want to speak for this father figure because this reading is not about them. Yet, just to give you an example, let's say if this father figure here never had the courage to stand up for their own dreams, to fulfill their dreams, and they instead did what others expected of them to do, then they could be projecting that hurt onto you by expecting you to follow what other people want you to do instead of following your own dreams. And you choosing to follow your own path, you choosing not to do what others expect of you, but rather what you want to do, what your heart pulls you towards to, might trigger this wound or this pain or this lack of self-realization in this person. This could even be a situation in which you are showing up as the sun, just being you, shining bright, not bright enough to burn, but bright enough to illuminate. And this person here, that light offends them. It hurts them. It's sort of like when a person has been in a dark room for far too long, and then someone comes in and opens the windows, opens the curtains, or turns on the light. That light is really going to offend the person who's been in the dark, because they have been accustomed to the darkness, to the shadows. And so the adjustment from the shadows into the light, it might be painful and it might take a while. And so I feel like you guys have gone through a transition. I feel like you guys have experienced your transition from, the shadow into the light, from the self-limited beliefs to self-empowering beliefs. And with foundation being here, I also feel like this is representing that you have built a new foundation for yourself. It's very possible that some of you might have recently, or you did experience quite a few tower moments in your past. And these tower moments were to help you get rid of old foundations that were, instead of helping you grow, they were keeping you in the same place. Now, I do feel like there's two different energies here, and I don't want to disregard either one of them. So I'm going to go into each one of these energies, because I feel like for some, you are going through this transitional phase. Now, I do feel called to say that this father figure doesn't necessarily have to be another person in your life. For some, this could very well be speaking about your inner critic, your inner masculine who tends to be very hard on the self. This could possibly even be representing the ego, the wounded ego, the wounded masculine. And for some, I feel like in the next 3 months, you are addressing these wounds. In the next 3 months, I see you working towards healing the wounded masculine. Because with the Three of Wands being in reverse, as well as the Eight of Pentacles, which is a card that represents dedication, concentration, hard work, when it is upright, I do feel like this is representing that there is still some wounds that you haven't been able to heal, or you haven't been able to address, with the Sun card being here upright. And now they are coming to light in the next 3 months. Now you cannot ignore them, is the feeling that I'm getting. Because with the Three of Wands being here, I get this feeling of not being able to move forwards, not being able to leave something in the past. This is not about forgetting what happened or forgetting who you were, disconnecting completely from your past, but it's more about not letting your past be your present, not letting your past dictate how your future will be. You know, it's not carrying the baggage with you on your next venture, because that can become very tiring, very burdensome and draining. So for some, in the next 3 months, it's realizing or noticing, becoming aware that you are wearing these super tight jeans. You know, this is more like a metaphor. You know, it's kind of, you feel this discomfort. You've always felt this discomfort. You knew it was there, but you never really took the time to figure where it was coming from. What was creating this discomfort? And in the next 3 months, you're realizing, oh, it's my jeans. They're too small. I've outgrown them. They no longer fit me. They're too tight. Too tight, it's uncomfortable. So something no longer fits. Something no longer resonates. And for some, this might be a harsh truth check or fact check, because I feel like some of you have been forcing these jeans to fit. Again, these metaphorical jeans that could be representing beliefs. They could literally be representing an environment, a relationship. Like you've been forcing something to fit that no longer fits. And the reason why this is coming up in the next 3 months, and it's interesting because you got the Three of Wands, the number 3, is because you are ready to move on to the next chapter of your life. But we can't move forwards, we can't move on, we can't try out new jeans if we're still forcing ourselves into the old. Now, I do feel like for some, this could also be you realizing what has been forcing itself into your life. Because at the beginning, I was feeling kind of this intrusive energy, and it could very well be that something keeps coming back. And every time this comes back, it keeps you from moving forward. And so maybe in the next 3 months, you will be called to realize what keeps repeating itself, what keeps coming back, that possibly you need to distance yourself from, because the Three of Wands also speaks about distance. And sometimes when it comes to relationships, we don't necessarily have to, disconnect from someone or cut connections or end the relationship. Sometimes all that is needed is distance, be it physical distance or even emotional distance, not emotionally relying on that other person, especially if there's attachments or codependency. And sometimes it's not even about creating distance, but it's more about changing the relationship dynamic. If there is codependency, working through dismantle that codependency. If there is imbalance in the relationship, working to create that balance. But remember, for there to be balance in a relationship, the efforts to create a change in the relationship must come from both partners, not just one. Because that's the whole point. The point is to create balance. And for some, I do feel like if in the next 3 months there is a reunion with this father figure that we have been speaking about, I'm just calling it father because that's how this card is called. But whoever or whatever this energy is representing, there is this heads up about noticing how much power you're still giving to this father here. Because with the key term validate, I get the feeling of someone who's still looking for validation from this father, who's still looking for that external validation. And it's sort of like they can't move forwards, they can't allow themselves to grow. I'm even getting this feeling of not being able to feel or be fully independent because they don't have this validation from this father energy. It's like the sun can't shine as the sun, because this father does not acknowledge that this star over here is the sun. And so in these next 3 months, it's about reclaiming your power by not waiting for someone or something external from you to validate you when you can validate yourself. Because as much as I want to say that this father energy here ends up validating you in some way or the other, or the way that you were hoping for, that might not be the case. Because I feel like this father energy is very stubborn. And so they might be more preoccupied with keeping their pride and defending their ego rather than speaking truth or acknowledging the truth. Remember that everyone has their own journey and everyone has their own wounds to heal. So why wait for someone else to heal so that you can start healing? Because everyone's own healing journey is their own responsibility. This might be more my own personal opinion, but respecting someone's point of view or beliefs or opinions doesn't necessarily mean that you believe them. It simply means that you accept that this person has their own way of seeing things and their own way of feeling and their own way of living. So for those of you who relate this father energy with being your own inner masculine, maybe acknowledging that your masculine is a harsh critic, that they can be pretty harsh and maybe even a perfectionist. Yet that doesn't mean that they are always right. That doesn't mean that what they say always goes, because remember, we all have both masculine and feminine. And I feel like the feminine really balances out the masculine in this case. I feel like for this specific group, the feminine is more accepting, more compassionate, more understanding. And that energy really balances out the inner masculine. And so yeah, it's okay to listen to your inner masculine, the inner critic, because it can help you with staying disciplined. It can help you with staying grounded, level-headed. Yeah, remember to take into consideration the feminine as well, especially when the masculine is getting out of control by being too demanding, by being too critical, judgmental, by being too harsh. When the masculine starts wounding the heart space, starts wounding the inner child, starts wounding the self-worth, that's when I feel patience comes into play. Being patient to see the masculine for what it truly is at that moment. Pain, insecurity, fear. And in doing so, maybe realizing that right now it's not the best time or moment to pay that much attention to the masculine or believe everything that the masculine is saying. But for the other energy that I was sensing, I do feel like a lot of you have already gone through this transition. A lot of you already have done this healing. And in the next 3 months, it's about showing how much you have grown, how much you are allowing yourself to show up without inhibition, without fear, without insecurity. I feel like we all have insecurities. Even when we are at our most confident, the insecurities might always linger, but it's not identifying ourselves with those insecurities, creating our identity based on those insecurities. It's like understanding what your strengths and your weaknesses are and choosing to work with both of them instead of simply letting your weaknesses work against you or magnifying your strengths to the point that it becomes arrogance or close-mindedness. This is about that balance. And so that's what I'm seeing here. It's like you're acknowledging what your strengths and weaknesses are. You know what your insecurities are. Like you're validating everything you have gone through, everything you have felt and still feel. But you are choosing to rise above it. I see this is you about validating yourself. You validating your own worth. I don't know, this message just came to mind, but I feel like a lot of you have a story to tell. You have a story to tell because you have been through a lot, you have seen a lot, you have felt a lot, you have done a lot of inner work, and I feel also work that can be seen through what you have manifested in your external reality. Like a lot of you have put in physical work to manifest and create your success. This is reminding me of like a success story, and that is different for everyone because everyone's journey is different, and For some, success might be getting out of a very harmful environment, or a harmful relationship, or a harmful mindset. Success could be speaking about a breakthrough, an emotional breakthrough, a financial breakthrough, a breakthrough in terms to your career, your profession, your studies. You know, success can mean various different things to various different people. And so I feel like you are finding your own version of success. And some of you could feel very inspired to tell your success story or share your success story with others. Because like I said, I do feel like you guys have a story to tell. And maybe that's why I got writing at the beginning. Maybe some of you are choosing to share your story, your journey with others. Maybe some of you are choosing to write a book about it, or an article, or start a blog. Or maybe that's an idea that will come to you in the next 3 months, and something that you will feel inspired to pursue or start on later on. It doesn't have to be in the next 3 months necessarily. Yeah, but with the key term patience, I feel like your energy, your higher self, or your future self, or possibly even your inner child is coming through to say thank you. Thank you for being patient with us, with me. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for being patient enough to look within, to dig deep, to heal, or to address what was hurting us, to acknowledge it, and to choose differently, to choose to change. To choose to leave what was hurting us behind, to take accountability for our lives and for our future, because it wasn't our fault. The hurt that was inflicted on us wasn't our fault, but choosing to heal, choosing to forgive, choosing to move forward, choosing to find freedom and create something better for ourselves, that is in our hands. That is in our power. That is our responsibility. So thank you for validating our power, our free will, our voice. So I definitely do see a lot of you guys being at a very good place in the next 3 months. And I do feel like this has been a long time coming, or it's been the result of years of hard work, not only, externally, but also internally. And I do see you coming back to the starting point, not because you're regressing, but simply coming back to the starting point with a new perspective, coming back to the starting point just to show yourself how far you have come. It's sort of like looking back and realizing how far you have come, and how something that once affected you no longer affects you in the same way or has that great of an effect on you. Out of all the groups, this has been the most serious but most empowering energy. I feel so proud of this energy because the energy I'm reading for, so you guys who chose this group and who are still here listening to this reading, everything you have gone through, all the pain you've experienced, all the hurt, it hasn't made you bitter. You haven't allowed for it to make you bitter. There's this feeling of wanting to continue working on yourself. And it's not about, being perfect, but it's about, not wanting to repeat the cycles, the painful patterns. It's wanting to create a positive difference and wanting to positively impact all those you come across with. It's like not only healing for you, but healing for everyone you will eventually connect with or are connecting with, which is beautiful, and it's very inspiring. And if you feel like you're not in this energy right now, remember that this could be that in the next 3 months you're going through this transition that will lead you into this energy. If you want to, if that is what you're seeking or striving for or working towards to. Oh, with the 3 of Wands, speaking about returning from a long travel, this could be like returning from a long spiritual journey, from a long healing journey, like coming back home to you, or retrieving a part of you. A part of you is coming back home to the whole of you. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, but I'm seeing someone who's feeling confident, someone who is standing in their power, someone who knows their worth, knows their value, and someone who doesn't feel any pressure to prove anything to anyone, possibly not even to themselves, because they trust themselves and they trust future them. Nice. Okay, but those are all the messages I am seeing with these cards. I do want to point out that we have the number 44. So repeated fours or the number 44 could be of significance in the next 3 months. I personally associate the number 4 with foundations, with stability, security. It's a very grounding number. And whenever I see repeated fours, I associate that with divine protection, with angelic beings being around, as well as with healing. So if you ever start seeing repeated fours in the next 3 months, know that you are being divinely protected. And for those of you who decide to go on this healing journey in the next 3 months, or you have been on this healing journey, repeated fours could be a sign from your higher self or your guides that you are healing, that you are making progress. Or it could be their way of sending you healing energy. I just felt this overwhelming, loving energy come through. So it could be their way of sending you healing energy. And I feel like your ancestors are with you. I don't know, this message just came to mind. Maybe it's meant for a specific few of you. But the message that came to mind is, don't worry, Buttercup, everything is going to be all right. And I do feel like this is coming from an ancestor or a loved one who is on the other side. Yeah, you're so loved, you guys. You're so loved. And I'm especially feeling this loving energy from beings of light who are with you, or from loved ones who are on the other side, from your ancestors as well. They love you so much and they're rooting for you. And this is the last message that came to mind. Thank you for choosing love. Okay, but now I'm going to move into the last segment of this reading. Okay, you guys, welcome to the last segment of this reading, where you can ask a yes or no question, and we will give space for spirit, beings of light, to come through and deliver an answer to you through the assistance of the pendulum. So if you have a yes or no question, please think of it right now. And once you have thought of it, keep it in mind as you cast your gaze upon these stones and see which one calls out to you, because the one that calls out to you will be the one that has the answer for you. Now, if you have more than one yes or no question, you can definitely choose more than one stone, or you can assign a different question to each one of these stones. So I will give you a moment to do that. And I will first start off with this stone over here. So Spirit, what is the answer for those who chose stone numero uno? So as you can see, the pendulum is pointing towards the word unknown. And what this signifies is that whatever you inquired about does not have a definite answer, because things are still at play, or the outcome can change. So nothing is yet set in stone in terms to whatever you have asked about. Okay? But now moving on to those who chose the stone in the middle. What is the answer meant for those who chose the stone in the middle? Okay, so as you can see, the pendulum is pointing towards maybe. So your answer is a maybe. And now for those who chose stone numero tres, let's see what is your answer. I'm sorry if you hear background noise, you guys. The world be noisy. Okay, but those who chose stone numero tres, what is your answer? Okay, so as you can see, the pendulum is pointing towards no, so your answer is a no. Okay, but those are all the messages we have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought some guidance, some clarity. If it did, and if you feel called to do so, please leave a like or a comment. If you are new to this channel and you want to stick around for more readings with me, Kim, then please do subscribe. I do offer personal readings. All the information is in my website, and the link to my website can be found in the description box down below. Thank you so much for watching until the very end, And thanks to all of you who took a moment to watch the advertisements, since that is one of the most simplest way to support me and this channel. So I truly appreciate it if you did. Yes, but that is all for now. Wishing you a wonderful next 3 months, and until the next moment, bye bye.